Hi, Mohammed.
Hello.
Hi. Where
How are
are
you?
you in Nigeria right now?
I'm actually in Abuja, the
Abuja.
federal capital territory of Nigeria. Yes,
Okay. What part of Nigeria it is?
it's in the middle.
Middle.
Uh, yes, it's in the middle of the country. So we're halfway between the north and the south of the country.
I understand. I'm afraid to ask you that, but there are conflict area quite near.
Yes. No, not really.
Mm.
Are you talking about the Boko Haram issue?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes. Boko Haram is northeast.
Mm-hmm.
So I am about uh, 10 to 11 hours away
Oh,
from
safe
where it
there.
happened.
Safe there.
Yes, very, very safe.
Okay.
Very, very
Where,
safe. Yes.
but how is the coronavirus over there?
Um, Coronavirus, it's something new over here.
Mm.
Just like the entire world, we're also putting in place measures and what do you call it, trying to stay safe as
Mm.
everybody else is,
Mm-hmm.
and also trying to see how we can manage it compared to seeing what else is happening all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Nigeria and Africa in general, we do have a very, very weak health system and weak
Uh-huh.
health infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine if countries like the US and European countries and even Japan and South Korea are struggling, and then coming to place like Nigeria, we don't have any chance against the virus.
Oh.
So what the government has done is at the federal level, because Nigeria is a federation. We do have the federal, which is the central government,
Sure.
and then we have state governments like
Yes.
regional governments. So
I understand.
at the federal level, about three states have been given complete isolation by the federal government, which is
Complete
Lagos
isolation.
State. Yes, complete isolation. What that means is we're locked down. We're at home. Okay? So three states have been authorized by the government to all stay at home. That is Lagos State, which is the commercial capital. Then Abuja, which is the federal capital. That's the government center. That's the heart of the government. And then Ogun State, which is where a number of our industries are.
I see.
So these are where we have complete lockdown. Aside from that, the government has closed all borders, including all international airports.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes. So for the other states, it's up to the governors of those states to put in measures to safeguard their people. Now, from what we have seen so far with the coronavirus, it's more rampant down south, southern part of Nigeria, than it is up north. So over 70% of the cases are down south, southern part
How many
of Nigeria.
cases do you have?
We have about, as of yesterday, it was about 343.
Oh, in the south part of Nigeria.
No, and the south part, no, 343 is the entire country.
Entire, okay.
The entire country. But then again, that is also relevant because when you look at it, you need to also understand how many people are being tested. We do not have the testing capacity as the other parts of the world. Now, this lockdown took place about 3 months ago, about 3 weeks ago. But then when you look at it, the coronavirus has been around since December.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And during that December period, there's been Christmas and the New Year holidays and a lot of people. And then plus there's also been the Chinese New Year. We have a huge Chinese community here in Nigeria doing all sorts of infrastructure work. So because of that, a lot of the initial index cases were people that brought them into the country. The first index case was Italian that came in from, I think, Napoli or somewhere, from the north of Italy. And he came in through Lagos. Now, you would ask, why did we close let's say, for example, Lagos and Abuja? This was done primarily because these are where we have the biggest international airports.
Yeah.
So if you look at Lagos, we have about 26 or up to 30 international flights daily leaving Lagos. And then Abuja, we will have half of that. So you have people going to all parts of the world and people coming in from different parts of the world. So a lot of the cases that we're seeing now is all in Lagos. Now, up north, current cases where they're actually being monitored are people who have come into contact with people in Lagos. So a lot of them are people from the north going to Lagos or people from the north coming to Abuja, and that is where they're getting these contacts and taking them back to those states.
I understand.
So now, another challenge that we're having in the country is, you see, a lot of workers here are daily pay workers. So unless someone leaves the house and goes and work, he doesn't get paid. And a lot of these type of people do not have savings. So government is playing a balancing act of saying, look, I need everybody to stay home. But then if you stay home, if you won't die or you won't have the symptoms of corona, the other thing that might kill you is food. People might die out of hunger.
That's
because because they can't go out to work. And already if the two major commercial cities, that is Abuja and Lagos, are locked down, and let me give you an instance. Lagos has a population of about 20 million people in one city.
Yeah, big city.
Yes. So if you allow people to move like that, the cases will be too much for the government to handle. Now, the other thing is, out of that 20 million people, I can say about maybe 80% of them are daily pay individuals.
Yeah.
So what this means is you're telling these people to stay at home, but then there isn't any food for them to go out and fend for themselves.
Then they're gonna.
Now, government has.
Go ahead.
What government is doing is we have our food reserves and national security food reserves. So government has to open those reserves and start giving out food for free to people. So we have this what do you call it? National insurance. What do you call it? And it's like an insurance scheme where people go and register, and then they get stipends or money from the government monthly, just like a social insurance that you have in the US. So a number of people have registered for that, and then based on that, they're going to different. Government is going around to different, if they can find these addresses, to start distributing food, and then they're giving people money so that people at least can go out and buy food. So now you would say people are giving money, people are giving dry food. Do you understand?
I understand.
But then you still need to buy, you still need to buy vegetables, you still need to buy fruits, and you still need to buy oil to cook. Which means if we're in lockdown, the markets too are locked down. So with the markets being locked down, even with all the money, you can't buy anything. So now government has come up with a scheme that every other day, every 2 days, people are allowed to go out to the markets between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. But then there are a limited number of people that are allowed to go into the market because of social distancing. And then when you go into the market, you're allowed to buy whatever you want. And then the market closes at 2. And then if you need anything from the supermarkets on the same day open from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So again, you're allowed to go out and buy anything you need from the supermarket, like toilet roll, a canned food.
And a long line because of human distance.
Exactly.
And some people cannot get it. I see.
Exactly.
Tell me, what is the penalty if people violate that law?
Pardon?
Tell me, what kind of penalty if people go out in a curfew?
What government has started, because you see, even yesterday the president gave a speech, and as part of his speech, he has enjoined the security services to make sure that people are not harassed. So they're trying to, yes, you need to stay, but then they're also looking at options of penalties if people don't stay. For now, what they are just doing is if they catch you outside, those on foot, they still don't have a protocol of what to do with them, people walking. But if you're driving, you're inside a car, they will arrest you and then impound your car till after the entire lockdown is over before you come and collect your car. So there are like strong punitive measures because,
I understand.
As I said, this is a new thing. We have a presidential task force on coronavirus, and from what the president mentioned yesterday, is they're working on protocols on what to do with people who break the law.
Right.
But as it is, if they catch you in a car, is to impound the car till after the law.
Question: it is hot summer over there now?
Yes. We're hot all throughout.
Yeah.
Mostly so. Average temperature. Let me just check the temperature this morning. The average temperature here this morning, as I'm talking to you now, is about 36 degrees, and this is just 11 a.m.
I understand.
So it can get up to 42, 43, depending on what part of the country you are.
Well, in that case, poor people inside the house whole day, it's really like a terrible situations.
Exactly. Yes. And plus, you need to add the fact that our electricity infrastructure isn't that good. So that's another thing. So while you're at home, because everybody now is at home, is hot, people switch on their air conditioning systems, their fridge, their freezers, and a lot of things are done. The system too is being strained. So you can imagine in a country of about 200 million people, we do about between 4 to 7 megawatts
electricity. It's a blackout happens. Electricity. Blackout happens.
Exactly. So what they even do so on average in a day, in a 24-hour day, you might get light for about 10 hours or 8 hours, depending on what part. Some places they might not even get light for 48 hours, some 72 hours. Depends. So,
Muhammad, thank you. Time is running out. So if you have any message to the world or Japanese, who is learning English, do you have any message talking about the coronavirus issue from you?
Yes, my message is, again, as the whole world has been saying, stay at home.
Only stay at home. Okay.
Social distancing.
Social distance.
That's the best solution we've seen.
Your society is fighting against the reality also, like food and electricity. I understand. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Thank you very much. And please stay safe and healthy with your family.
We'll do so.
And see you sometimes near future again if coronavirus is gone.
Thank you very much. We'll do so.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
今回はナイジェリアからですね、ナイジェリアの真ん中の方にアブジャという町があって、そこは行政のね、中心ではあるんですけれども、ナイジェリアと言いますとね、エボラ出血熱だとか、またはボコハラムっていうイスラム教過激派のね、騒乱があったりして子供がさらわれたりといういろんな悲劇のあったところでもあるんですが、実を言いますとね、ナイジェリアはね、経済的にはすごくアフリカの中では発展してて、これから彼なんかは特にですね、そういう中で映画の産業をしっかりとね、育てようということで、映画界の仕事をしてるんですよね。で、そういう彼がとはいえね、アフリカの中でまだまだ貧しさがあると。だから、今回のようなコロナの場合、ガバメントとしてはね、絶対に家にいなさいと。でも家にいると食事が取れない。ね、そういう貧しい人がたくさんいると。で、じゃあマーケットに許された時間だけ買いに行くんですけども、人と人とのディスタンスを保たないと悪いから、それを待ってる間に時間が来ちゃうし、貧しい人には政府が要するに多少の援助はあるけど、いわゆるドライフードしかくれないんだよと。だからそういうことでね、コロナから体は守れるけども、家にずっといるために、暑い中家にいるために亡くなる人もいるというような逆のね、皮肉もあるんだという、ある意味でアフリカの一つの深刻さも伺われるインタビューでしたね。よく喋ってくれましたけど、綺麗な英語でした。そういう意味ではね、分かりやすかったかなと思いますけれども、サブタイトルもつけますから、ぜひ最後までね、聞いていただけたかなと思います。アフリカの、ウガンダに続いて2カ国目ですね。さらにインタビューを世界中続けていきたいと思います。期待してください。